Ah yes, Universal Parks, the chain that got me into theme parks as a kid, the chain that keeps me into theme parks as a teen, and in my opinion, the pinnacle of art in theme park form. I'm fortunate enough to have been to 5 of 6 Universal Parks across the globe, besides Beijing, as of the date of this upload, which means I get to rank my experiences and evaluate which one truly is the best. My criteria for the parks will be a simple 50% rides, half family rides and half tour rides, and 50% park atmosphere, which includes theming, beauty/charm, customer service, shops, and fun, with each park getting a final score out of 100. Everything about this is subjective, so trigger warning. Alright, let's begin. At dead last is Universal Studios Hollywood, LA, California. This park is certainly a gem, but it just falls short compared to its counterparts. Now, take what I say with a grain of salt, as this is the park I visited the longest ago in 2018, which was before some major additions were added, and I was also like in the 5th grade. But even then, while I had a good time, I still vividly remember just running out of things to do. Park atmosphere is spot on. It has a great feel with a combination of the Wizarding World and Super Nintendo World, which did not exist in 2018, but judging off of a clone I've been to, they're incredibly immersive. But what made the park stand out was the backlot studio tour, as well as little things like the Funland theme to the park in the Despicable Me movie. It's just an overall beautiful theme park and a 48 out of 50 for atmosphere. Family rides coincide with atmosphere and are done really well here and will get a 24 out of 25. So how is this park last, you say? Well, it's the remaining 25 points that stains this park. Thrill rides. Revenge of the Mummy, a classic. Jurassic Park, now Jurassic World, solid. But their main thrill ride? It certainly ain't the Hippogriff. There isn't one, and that makes this an incomplete park. They will get an 8 out of 25 for thrills, giving Hollywood a final score of 80 out of 100. Number 4. Universal Studios Japan, Osaka, Japan. My old friend, today you are catching some strays. Many consider this park to be the best Universal Park in the world. No. Being born and raised in Japan, I've been to this park 4 times, and god does it have some great elements. But just like Hollywood, it is an incomplete park. Their park atmosphere is good, but it's not great. The highlights are the Wizarding World and Super Nintendo World, but outside of that, New York Land used to be good, but Spider-Man has been gone for a while, and the land currently has no rides, just these ugly cardboard cutouts. Amity Village has a great attraction, but the theming is basic. This also applies to Jurassic Park, which land is just some basic vegetation. What takes the most points out of the atmosphere, though, is the overcrowding. On my last visit in November of 2024, most of the rides had over 100-minute waits. To put in perspective, it was raining that day. It's hard to have fun when there's that many people. And while this isn't directly the park, their city walk is completely underwhelming, as well as these industrial landscapes like this massive bridge that are visible all throughout the park that take away from the immersion. On the other hand, really friendly employees, which puts the atmosphere at a 43 out of 50. For family attractions, they will get a 21 out of 25. Nintendo World and Harry Potter do most of the heavy lifting, but Hollywood ultimately offers more for families. And for thrill rides, unlike Hollywood, they have that one main attraction. The Flying Dinosaur is one of the greatest coasters on planet Earth, but they have a weak supporting lineup. Hollywood Dream is mid at best, and outside of that, well, there isn't too much. So they'll get a 19 out of 25, giving USJ a final score of 83 out of 100, 3 points over Hollywood. Number 3, Universal Studios Florida, Orlando, Florida, the OG Florida park. I've been to this park countless amounts of times in my childhood, but after visiting it as a more conscious human being in the summer of 2023, I can see the glory, but also the flaws. The atmosphere is patchy. Some areas of the park have some of the most immersive theming in the world, while other parts are just kind of eh. But at the lake, the palm trees and Diagon Alley, and the park maintains a charming feel, giving atmosphere a solid 46 out of 50. For family rides, well, there's certainly quantity, but quality does lose some points. Yes, there's too many screens, but it's not like there isn't anything else. Let's say you subtract The Simpsons, Fast and Furious, and Jimmy Fallon. Well, now you have 3 screen rides, a great shooting ride, and a dark ride with practical effects. It just means there's more to offer. Although they do not have a water ride, which will get them a family score of 21 out of 25. For thrills, I think they do pretty well. It really comes down to how good you consider the main thrill to be. I personally really like Rip Ride Rockit, but in my opinion their supporting lineup is where the glory is. Revenge of the Mummy and Escape from Gringotts are immersive masterpieces. I love them to the core. So Thrills will get a 22 out of 25, giving the park a final score of 89 out of 100. Number 2. Universal Studios Singapore Sentosa Island. My god, what a beautiful theme park. Everything leading up to it and every corner inside is a tropical paradise. I was fortunate enough to visit this park in December of 2022 and I had a great time. The park does not have Harry Potter or Nintendo, but thrive in completely original lands, like a whole entire land dedicated to Shrek, as well as The Mummy, which I really enjoyed. The atmosphere is a 48 out of 50, with the only drawbacks being there's no theming that completely shocks you, like found in Nintendo or Harry Potter. For rides, they got a decent family ride collection. Aside from their dark rides, they have some really good family thrills, with the River Rapids version of Jurassic Park and Canopie Flyer, as well as this awesome Puss in Boots coaster. They will get a 22 out of 25 for family attractions. For thrills, this park was a pleasant surprise. Their thrill lineup is incredibly balanced. They got the main throw, which is the Cyclone, the gray track of the dueling coaster Battlestar Galactica, which is a Vekoma modern inverting coaster which includes a launch and some really fun elements, as well as 2 supporting coasters, the Human, the red track of Battlestar Galactica, which is more tame, and Revenge of the Mummy. The lineup is more fulfilling than Hollywood and the USJ, and is just about the same as Universal Florida, giving Thrills a 22 out of 25 and the park a final score of 92 out of 100. Number 1. Islands of Adventure, Orlando, Florida. This is truly the greatest Universal theme park in the world, excluding Beijing. Like Universal Florida, I last visited this park in the summer of 2023, and it's like it's Universal's favorite child. Everything is just done better. For atmosphere, from where the adventure begins to the back ends of the park, it's stunning. With well-told themed lands that elegantly fuse into another, add the lake and the port of entry to that, and it just tells a complete story and gets the perfect score of a 50 out of 50. This park, as well as Disney Sea, are what I consider the most elite in atmosphere. For family rides, this park offers Seuss Landing, which checks off the kids box, but for the demographic above that, Spider-Man and Forbidden Journey are high-quality interactive screen rides. Their lineup, though, is elevated by the 3 water rides that all individually feel unique. This will get them a 23 out of 25. Now for the thrills. Unlike USJ, USF, and USS that have 1 main thrill, and Hollywood that has none, Islands has 2 main thrills, the Incredible Hulk Coaster and Velocicoaster. Their supporting lineup is decent as well, with Mr. $300 million worth of theming, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, which carries Dr. Doom's Freefall, as well as Jurassic Park and Ripsaw Falls that are fun for both families and older demographics. Velocicoaster and Hagrid's personally carry, and they're both one of those rare sensational coasters that feel like watching a full movie rather than riding a ride. Thrills will get a 24 out of 25, giving the park a final score of 97 out of 100. Universal Parks kick ass. Here are the final scores for the parks all in one frame if you want to pause. While I tended to focus on the flaws of these parks in this video, all 5 of these parks offer an experience far superior than most of the parks I have ever been to. People also have a tendency to like what's different. Aspects of USJ that I've grown immune to, like the Japanese culture and the kawaii effect, could very well elevate the experience for a lot of foreigners, as the same for me when I'm fortunate enough to visit these tropical locations, and that's just kind of how it is. Comment down below how you'd rank the Universal parks, and we can formally express our gratitudes in an organized fashion. Thank you for watching, and sorry Mom, that everyone else in your family kinda drags you to these theme parks.